Spain's transformation into the world's first superpower is a tale of ambition, exploration and conquest that reshaped the global landscape. Today, Spain covers 195,365 square miles on the Iberian Peninsula, sharing borders with Portugal, France and Andorra. Yet, at the dawn of the 19th century, Spanish territories spanned over 5 million square miles, encompassing much of the Americas, the Philippines and several Atlantic islands. This vast empire emerged from an extraordinary period of expansion over 3 centuries, culminating in Spain's dominance as the world's foremost global power. In the mid-15th century, the political map of the Iberian Peninsula was fragmented. The region was divided into several Christian kingdoms, with the most powerful being Castile and Aragon. For centuries, these kingdoms had fought to reclaim territory from the Moors, North African Muslims who had conquered much of the peninsula in the 8th century. In 1469, a pivotal marriage between Queen Isabella I of Castile and King Ferdinand II of Aragon united these two kingdoms, setting the stage for a unified Spain. This dynastic union not only consolidated Christian power, but also provided the resources to complete the Reconquista, the campaign to reclaim the Iberian Peninsula, culminating in the capture of Granada in 1492. With internal borders secured, Isabella and Ferdinand turned their attention to overseas expansion. Inspired by Portugal's maritime successes along the African coast, they sought new trade routes to the East Indies. Enter Christopher Columbus, a Genoese navigator who proposed a radical idea, sailing west across the Atlantic to reach Asia. After years of lobbying, Columbus secured the monarch's backing and embarked on his first voyage in 1492. When he made landfall in the Caribbean on October 12th of that year, he opened a new chapter in world history. Believing he had reached the East Indies, Columbus referred to the indigenous people he encountered as Indians. His discovery ignited Spanish ambitions, leading to subsequent voyages and the establishment of permanent settlements. The city of Santo Domingo, founded on Hispaniola in 1496 by Columbus's brother Bartholomew, became Spain's first foothold in the New World. As Spanish explorers continued to chart the Caribbean, they uncovered rumors of wealthy empires on the mainland. The most significant of these empires was the Aztec Empire in central Mexico. In 1519, Hernán Cortés led an expedition from Cuba, landing on the Mexican coast. By allying with indigenous groups who opposed Aztec rule, Cortés advanced toward the empire's capital, Tenochtitlan. Initially welcomed by Emperor Montezuma II, the Spanish soon seized control, but a rebellion forced them to retreat in June 1520 during the infamous La Noche Triste, or the Sad Night. Undeterred, Cortés regrouped, and by 1521, after a brutal siege, Tenochtitlan fell, marking the collapse of the Aztec Empire. This victory laid the foundation for the Viceroyalty of New Spain, with Mexico City as its capital. Further south, another empire awaited Spanish conquest. The Inca Empire, centered in the Andean highlands, controlled a vast region across modern-day Peru, Ecuador and Bolivia. In the 1530s, Francisco Pizarro led a small band of conquistadors into Inca territory. Capitalizing on internal divisions and the devastation wrought by European diseases, Pizarro captured and executed the Inca Emperor Atahualpa in 1533. Despite internal conflicts among the Spanish, by the 1570s the Incas' organized resistance was crushed, and the Viceroyalty of Peru was established with Lima as its administrative hub. These conquests provided Spain with access to immense wealth. Silver mines, particularly at Potosi in present-day Bolivia, produced vast quantities of precious metal, which flowed back to Spain in annual treasure fleets. This influx of wealth fueled Spanish dominance in Europe, but also led to rampant inflation known as the Price Revolution. The exploitation of indigenous labor through systems like the encomienda enabled the extraction of these resources, though it came at a devastating human cost. Beyond the Americas, Spain expanded into the Pacific. Following Ferdinand Magellan's circumnavigation of the globe from 1519 to 1522, the Spanish claimed the Philippines, establishing Manila in 1571. This Asian foothold became a vital link in the trans-Pacific trade, connecting Chinese goods to the Americas and Europe. Although Spanish control in the Philippines faced resistance, particularly from Muslim communities in Mindanao, the colony endured and became a crucial part of the empire's global network. Spanish ambitions extended northward as well. Explorers like Hernando de Soto charted the southeastern United States, while others ventured into the Rio de la Plata region of South America. However, the Spanish focused their colonial energies on the wealthier and more populous regions of Mexico and Peru. Settlements along the California coast emerged in the late 18th century under the leadership of Franciscan missionaries like Junipero Serra, establishing the roots of cities such as San Diego and San Francisco. Spanish colonial society evolved into a complex hierarchy. At the top were the peninsulares, Spanish-born administrators who governed the colonies. Below them were the criollos, individuals of pure Spanish descent born in the Americas. Mestizos, a growing population of mixed Spanish and indigenous ancestry, occupied a middle tier, while indigenous peoples and African slaves faced harsh exploitation. This social structure, combined with rigid control from Madrid, sowed the seeds of future unrest. Despite the empire's vast wealth, Spain's dominance began to wane in the 17th century. The endless wars of King Philip II drained resources, while England, France and the Netherlands challenged Spanish supremacy. By the mid-1600s, Spain had lost key territories in the Caribbean and parts of North America. Internal corruption and declining silver production further weakened the empire's grip. By the 18th century, the Spanish Empire had reached its territorial zenith, but faced mounting challenges. Efforts to reform colonial administration under the Bourbon monarchy sought to revitalize Spanish control, but the independence movements of the early 19th century ultimately fractured the empire. From Mexico to Argentina, colonial subjects rebelled, inspired by Enlightenment ideals and the weakening of Spain's central authority following Napoleon's invasion. Spain's rapid ascent to global superpower status was a testament to its ambition and the prowess of its explorers and conquerors. Yet, the very forces that built the empire, military conquest, resource extraction, and rigid social hierarchies, ultimately contributed to its decline. By the early 19th century, the first global superpower was in retreat, leaving a legacy that continues to shape the modern world.